Did you know that professional genealogists often find their research stalled and need a jump start? It's true. So, what are we to do to get out of the rut we might be stuck in? I've discovered 6 simple things that help me get my family history mojo back. Howdy, I'm Devin Noel Lee with Family History Fanatics, and I love helping you learn how to climb your family tree and have fun along the way. My genealogy research projects and interests have stalled a time or two in the past few years. Last year, I planned to complete a scrapbook for my mother-in-law, write about William Townsend, my Civil War ancestor, and work on extending my Townley lines. However, my mental health and family challenges have made it hard to accomplish these goals. As a result, I lost my mojo until I remembered these 6 simple steps to restart that fire. One of my biggest problems is not realizing that there aren't enough hours in the day to do everything my ambitious mind wants to accomplish. Additionally, I've learned that I become hyper-focused on one project at a time and then move to the next and then to the next. By contrast, Andy can work on multiple projects simultaneously and make moderate progress on each. However, even he has limits as to how many projects he works on at once. Which project management style do you have? Let me know in the comments. But I do recommend, regardless of your style, picking 1, maybe 2 projects or research questions. However, I have learned in the book called The One Thing, write down all your possible projects and research questions and keep them in a memorable and safe place. I do this in Google Sheets on my Google Drive account. Once you have all of these ideas written down, you actually free your brain to focus on those 1 or 2 projects that you need to do next. The one thing that you need to do before you do the next one thing. So I like to pick 2 projects to decide which one is more important at that time than the other. That way, if progress on the top priority project stalls, I can work on the second priority project until the first one can move forward again. Next, review what you've already accomplished to reignite the fire in a project. For the scrapbook I have the photos organized and a few scrapbook layouts arranged and a few starter stories. For the Civil War ancestor project, I've written about his birth, marriage, and part of his service and his injury. There's a lot more to do, but I've started reviewing and taking stock of what I've already written. Now that I have reviewed where I'm at in the project, I need to determine the next steps and make a plan. For a writing or scrapbook project, the following steps could be content editing, researching for more details, or finalizing the project for publication. For my mother-in-law's doll scrapbook, I have spoken to my mother-in-law to expand the stories she already started, so now I just need to take those stories, put them in the scrapbook layout, and decorate the pages. For the Civil War ancestor, I need to write about his life after the war and then write about his death and what happened to his children after that. So now that I know what tasks need to happen, I can put those down on my to-do list and have a jump start to those projects again this year. If you're working on a research project, use a research plan. With that plan, identify the records you need to investigate to answer your research question. You should also be recording your notes and writing conclusions about your discoveries along the way. Have you made New Year's resolutions before but failed to keep them more than 2 weeks after making them? I have. Last year, my family posted our goals in the dining room, but truthfully, the writing was so small that it was hard for us to remember what was on those papers. In the end, 1 of the 5 persons that lived in the household achieved any of the goals that were written down. By contrast, for the year leading up to my 40th birthday, I had the goal of getting in shape so I could be Catwoman for Halloween. I know, crazy goal. But what I did is I made a calendar checkoff chart to record the days I exercised. In addition, I had an assessment chart to measure my weight loss and my muscle changes. Because let's face it, getting in shape takes a long time and you can get discouraged. And having those charts visible reminded me of my goal, and I was able to achieve that and wear the Catwoman costume on October 31st. So this year, I'm going to post a picture of a finished scrapbook in 2 places that I work the most in my home. And I'm giving myself the deadline of Mother's Day. That should be enough time. So with that visual goal in my house, hopefully I'll remember to work on that instead of watching my favorite videos on YouTube or on Amazon Prime. I will also make a mock-up of the Civil War Ancestors book cover, and then I will post a picture of that on my wall next to the scrapbook to remind me, okay, if you're not in the mood to work on this scrapbook, then work on the William Townsend Civil War Ancestor Project. Now, sometimes we've lost our mojo because we actually need to learn something new and try it. For instance, perhaps we need to learn how to use genealogy software features, create timelines, make clue webs, write a research report, use those features on Google Docs, research in tax records, find land records, and learn what the terminology means. You get the idea. If you need some other suggestions of things to learn, be sure to check out the show notes because I have blog posts and videos that will help you learn everything I've listed so far, as well as some other ideas that I haven't mentioned in this video. If something is important, you put it on your calendar. So why don't you make dates with yourself? My children's doctor's appointments, swim practices, and church activities make it to the calendar. My lecture and video releases have space on my calendar as well. Do you know what didn't have space on my calendar last year, but did in prior years when I was more successful in accomplishing my goals? This year, let's schedule dates with ourselves to know when we want to work on a project. Of course, things may come up and we must move that date to another time slot, but don't be a no-show to your dates. I mean, if you set an alarm to work out at 5 a.m. and stop the reminder but don't take action, you're as bad as the date who stood someone up. Keep your promises to yourself by showing up to your genealogy dates and see just how much progress you're going to make on your goals this year. Sometimes you just need to get help. Sometimes we're stuck because we don't know what to do next, or we don't know how to do the next step, which requires a lot of time or skill in order to accomplish that goal or that activity. Don't be like a stereotypical male who doesn't stop and ask for directions when you're lost. Likewise, don't be like a stereotypical female who doesn't ask for help when they need it most. The most successful people know what they don't know and ask for help when needed. Some ways to ask for help can be to brainstorm with a genealogy buddy about what to search next. Watch a lecture about how to research obscure records. Ask a family member to help with a project. And even hire professional service providers to tackle a challenging research project or write and publish your family history projects. If the Serenity prayer can help people recover from addictions and afflictions, perhaps a genealogical serenity prayer could be, God, grant me the serenity to accomplish the things I can do, the courage to recognize the things I cannot, and the wisdom to ask for help when needed. May you progress in your projects today and every day as you follow and do these steps to jumpstart your genealogy research and get your family history mojo back. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button and leave a comment before checking out this video on things you can do to become a better genealogist.